Boosie got the Harry Fry.
Glamps in the matrix. Your life turned to flipping pages. All the real talent behind them cages.
And we're back for week 8. Free picks brought to you by Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio. Thank you to our sponsors at TeamSpadesBooker.com and GilbertYoungArt.com. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook group is Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio group. And our the Gilbert Young Art World page is up on YouTube, and there's a group on Facebook, I think. So we're back for week 8. We got I would say we got killed. We might have lost a unit. This might be our first losing week, but it was tough. I mean, a lot of things are coming into clarity. Obviously, some of the older quarterbacks are not necessarily capable of performing their duties, but our losses. So we're jumping into the losses. The first one for week 7 was the Indianapolis Colts game. Matt Ryan, obviously, he's very, very inconsistent. One week he does this, next week he does that. Jonathan Taylor he was back for that game, or he should be back for the next game. But their running game is terrible. They're averaging very low in that perspective. So they come out and they don't score anything in the first half. We had them +3, and they lose by 9 points. So we lost that one. Green Bay, I think a lot of people missed that game. Everybody's really surprised. Did Aaron Rodgers fall off? And especially for the Commanders to get the W, but Carson Wentz didn't play. And that's the main factor in the Commanders losing is Carson Wentz playing. So Green Bay -6 was a horrible pick. I knew it was a horrible pick. Their defense is terrible even if their offense does play. They're struggling with injuries in the wide receiver core. And Aaron Rodgers is obviously... I mean, I'd be surprised. He might win the MVP again. Shit. Next game is going to be Tampa Bay -11. They went into the Panthers' home and put up 3 points and got blown out. This is probably the worst loss of Tom Brady's career. He probably should have thought about coming back, versus what he lost in the deal. And Panthers just beat them 7.7 points all throughout the fucking second through the fourth quarter. And Panthers couldn't even get a touchdown in, so they beat them. Surprise, surprise. Those 2 picks I got excuses for. We got Baltimore -6. They didn't cover. They won by 3. That was tough. We obviously know how good the Jets are. And San Francisco money line. That one was kind of an underdog pick. I was trying to sneak something like that in there. And the Chiefs, obviously, one of the best offenses in the league. Pat Mahomes, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just decimated them. They was close for a while. We ended up decimating them. Miami -7, and they won by 6. That's one of those spread picks. So these spreads will kill you. We got 2 picks that the spread wasn't big enough. You can buy points, so make sure you take advantage of that if you have that ability at your sportsbook. And Patriots game, we had a -7. They got blown out by Chicago Bears on Monday night. So we're going into week 8, which we're looking for better results. I had some nice tickets this weekend. Of course, some of them were multi-sports. We had wrapping up the championship games in the baseball. And hockey's live now, so we've been getting on some hockey, but as far as NFL goes, that Green Bay game killed a couple of my tickets. Patriots game, obviously, I took them in 1 ticket. So we're going to jump into week 8. Week 8 has a lot more potential for success, and that's what we're looking for. The first game, Thursday night game, is going to be the Baltimore Ravens coming in 4-3 into Tampa Bay. So we don't know if Andrews is going to be playing, which is Jackson's number 1 target. Tampa Bay's 2-game losing streak is massive. Baltimore is putting up 156 rushing yards a game, which has really been carrying them. A lot of it coming from the quarterback position. But Tampa Bay's only scoring 17 points per game is probably the reason why they're losing games. With the offensive weapons they have, they should be doing way better than that. Baltimore has a way worse pass defense than Tampa Bay does. So the best we're going to see out of Tampa Bay is going to be in this game. and we're taking Baltimore money line. The next game, Jacksonville money line. We don't know if Russell Wilson's playing, or if another quarterback plays, they have a good chance that they'll win, because Jacksonville's not that good. Their 2-5 record shows that. They've had some big wins, but Denver scoring 14 points per game is really hurting them. Allowing 16 points, their defense is not scrubs. You know, they're gonna put the test to old Trevor Lawrence, but both of them on 4-game losing streaks, so we're going to take Jacksonville money line in that, hoping that Russell Wilson doesn't play. I think if Russell does play, there might be a different outcome. Pretty much coin flip. Next game, the Panthers going to the Falcons. Panthers are Christian McCaffrey less, and the Falcons don't know who they are. But I think that PJ is a big improvement at the quarterback position, and that plus 5 points is really going to come in handy. I think that Atlanta might win, but that plus 5 is going to give us the win on the ticket. Carolina doesn't run the ball well, and Atlanta's defense is good. You know, they've had promising sparks. Anyway, Dallas minus 10 is our next pick. Dallas defense is very elite. They're only allowing 14 points per game. Without Zeke, it actually benefits Dallas, and Dallas is healthy at all other positions. We're going to take the Cowboys 5-2 at home. Give up the 10 points. I think they blow out the Bears. The Bears got lucky earlier this week. Miami money line. Dolphins going to Detroit. Detroit doesn't know what they're doing. They're 1-5. They're hoping to get Swift back as soon as possible. We're going to take Miami money line on the road. Miami is struggling running the ball. 85 yards per game is not very well. But Detroit allowing 32 points per game is just a stat that you have to really admire. Miami has 2 top 10 receivers in Weddle and Tyreek Hill. So I think any quarterback is going to benefit from that. And so we're going to take Miami money line in that game. Next game is going to be a big one. Minnesota is actually 5-1. People don't realize that. They're on their home turf, and they're undefeated at home. Arizona's wide receiver core has gone from one of the worst to the deepest. And Minnesota's scoring 97 rushing yards per game, even though they have Dalvin Cook. It's surprising. And they're only allowing 19 points per game, so the defense is playing pretty well. We're going to take Minnesota at home, money line. You know, spread's 3.5. We can just give up a couple dollars on that. Next game is Raiders against the Saints. We're taking the Saints at home. Give us the 2 points. We might need it. It might be a last-second field goal. New Orleans is allowing 28 points per game, which is ridiculous. And but they're not allowing a lot of yards. So they're just making bad decisions and giving people good field position, allowing them to score. Las Vegas, on the other hand, being 0-3 on the road is a statistic that needs to be noted. It's good to take a home underdog anytime you're betting, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. So we're going to take the Saints. We expect, Jameis Winston's back, and I think that Taysom Hill will get involved. They're a little bit healthier than they were. They've been dealing with injuries all year, so we're going to take the Saints plus the 2 at home. Next game is going to be the Jets plus 2. That Jets defense and that pass rush, that defensive line really rushes the passer well. We're going to take the Jets plus 2. They're at home. Surprising 5-2 record. Both teams are allowing 20 points per game, but New England's coming off of a big loss. That rookie quarterback they have, he's really going to get put to the test when this Jets pressure comes to him. And I think that New England is definitely in a rebuilding stage, and that a lot of the games that they play are going to show that. They're going to play experimentally. But the Jets D is good running game. Obviously, Zach Wilson's terrible at quarterback, so whatever the quarterback situation may be, as long as they keep it steady, I think they win this game. Getting points at home. Pittsburgh plus 11 is our next pick. Phillies is going to be playing very carefully in this game. They're just trying to get to that 7-0 mark, which is substantial in the NFL schedule. So Pittsburgh scoring 15 points per game, that should be easily done. But their defense is allowing 17 points per game, which shows that their defense is playing good. And I think they might be able to slow down Philly a little bit, not to mention Philly's going to be trying to just get out of here with this W. So I'm taking Pittsburgh plus the 11. I've seen some bright spots. I see Najee Harris and the wide receiver core. And depending on who plays quarterback, it's going to be a big factor. Next game is Tennessee coming in 4-2. Tennessee Titans. Houston's obviously the worst team in the league. They look the worst. Their numbers say that they're the worst. They're at home. They got that one win, and they're allowing 250 yards passing per game. So, and they're allowing 160 yards rushing per game. So it's just a yard giver. So any team coming in here, this is going to be a big fantasy pick. If you want to take Tennessee, I would load up on players from them. It's going to be a high-scoring game for them. And then Tennessee's going to get that money line. Right now, the spread's at -2, which is great. Colts at home. No Matt Ryan to save the day. I think that Heineke is better than Wentz. But with no Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger is going to be playing. It's going to be a different game. Jonathan is back. I forgot his last name. And Indianapolis has only been scoring 16 points per game and 80 yards rushing, so hopefully he can change that. But, you never know. Washington Redskins have a lot of talent in different places, and I don't know if Jonathan Taylor is going to be able to match up against that run defense. All right, next we are going to the 49ers game. San Fran on the road, both teams, so 3 wins. We're going to take San Fran. LA is scoring 70 rushing yards per game. If they can just shut down Cooper Kupp, they should be able to get this done. San Fran has a great rushing defense. They beat the Rams 24-9 in the first matchup. So we're going to take the 49ers again. After that, we're going to see the Seattle Seahawks. And we're going to take a break, let the dog out, and then we'll be back at it. So the Seattle Seahawks have been a surprising team, scoring 26 points per game this year. They're going to be playing at home. Even in their losses, they've been impressive. Obviously, Metcalf went out, but Lockett should be back. And they're New York allowing 18 points per game. I think this is going to be one of those surprise picks for a lot of people. Seattle's going to cover that, but we're going to take a money line against the Giants, give the Giants their second loss of the year. After that, the Buffalo Bills, obviously, I think they're the best team, defense and offensive-wise. They're going to be looking to blow out the Packers. Packers are dealing with a lot of problems. Aaron Rodgers, the wide receiver core, is actually hurt right now. And Buffalo scoring that 29 points per game. We're going to take Buffalo and give up the points. And I think our last game on the schedule is going to be the Bengals game. Burrow went from looking like a Super Bowl hangover to MVP. 15 touchdowns on the season. Cleveland allowing 26 points per game. I think that the Bengals will be able to expose that. Cleveland also on a 4-game losing streak, so it's pretty surprising for them to get it to 5. So I would probably stay away from this game if I could, but especially with that suspicious spread. -3 against a horrible Cleveland, a 2-win Cleveland team. I don't know, that's very suspicious. So you always got to be on the lookout for Vegas. Vegas knows all. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Join that Facebook group, Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio group. And we'll see you next week. May all your bets be live.